Hello, Gold Class Monkeys. What I'm going to do in this video is show you a fun activity that is making a sock insect. So, let me first show you what you need. You need a sock. White is best, just because I'm going to have you color it, but you can do a different color if you want to. You're going to need something to stuff the sock with. I have cotton balls. You could also use something called polyfill if your mom or dad, if they have some craft, like it's for quilting or different things. So polyfill. You could even use tissue paper or toilet paper, something like that. You need something to stuff your sock with. You need 2 rubber bands. You need some Sharpie markers. You need pipe cleaners. So I have 3 pipe cleaners here, and I already cut them in half. So there's 3 pipe cleaners there. And then I have 2 short pieces of pipe cleaners. Okay. I have 2, they're impossible to pick up, 2 plastic jewels that I'm using. But you could use, you'll see what I'm using for, and you can use something else if you want to, if you don't have those. Scissors and Eki glue. So the first thing you do is I'm rolling down my sock just to make it easier to stuff. And I'm going to take a handful of balls and stuff them in. I'm going to stuff all the way to the end. Okay. And you can't even pull apart the cotton balls, so they're not quite so round, so they're spread out a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm starting to fill up my sock. Okay. All right. I'm going to do a little bit more. So I'm going to kind of make sure it's, pretty solid. So here I have my, actually you will need, you're going to need 3 rubber bands, not 2, 3. Forgot about that. So you need 3 rubber bands. Okay. So the first thing is to put one at the end of your stuffing and make sure it's nice and tight. You got to wrap it around a few times. Mom or dad can help you with this part because it's a little tricky. You want to get it on nice and tight. See if I can get one more turn on there. Okay. So nice and tight. So I have this part just put on this rubber band. Now I'm going to cut the rest of the sock off. Okay. Like that. Okay. Now, um, insects have, you may already know this, or this may be new information. Insects have 3 body parts. They have a head, they have a thorax, and they have an abdomen. So we need to turn this into an insect. It needs to have 3 body parts. So we're going to do that by putting on 2 more rubber bands. Okay. Okay. So now it has a head. Okay, I'm going to do another one down here. Or it could have a tail, because either end, we could make this its mouth and have this be its tail. Okay. So now I have, my sock is stuffed, and I have, with the rubber bands, I have now given my insect 3 body parts. So there's 1, 2, 3 rubber bands. Yes, 3 body parts. Okay. The next step is to decorate your insect. Insects can be very colorful, so I am going to choose a lot of colors, and you might be able to do it with other kinds of markers. I've just always used Sharpies, so you might be able to use some other markers, but I don't know. They will work as well. So I'm going to color, and I always do the coloring after it's stuffed, because if you do it before and then it stretches out, sometimes you get a lot of white on there. So I always do the coloring after it's stuffed, so you really can get the color on there good. Make sure it covers. So whatever kind of coloring, whatever you want your insect to look like, is totally up to you. And I found that Sharpies have a tendency to get a little dried out. As I recall, it's not a permanent thing. It just kind of gets dried out writing on the sock. But okay, I'm going to put a stripe. And remember what we learned from the ladybugs, that ladybugs are bright colored, usually bright colored, and with that red, although they can be other colors, with the spots, to warn other animals that they do not taste good and that they are kind of poisonous, so they won't get eaten. So if you want to make yours brightly colored, and the coloring takes a little while. It takes some work to do this. That is okay. You guys are great colorers and drawers. So I think your insects are going to look very cool. Okay. Okay, so you can see that I'm doing some stripes on mine. Let me do, let's see, I'm going to color, hold on, let me do this one, which is thorax area, before I start another one. The middle section of the insect is the thorax. That is where the insect's legs and wings attach, is in the thorax area. So, okay, so there's that section done. I'm going to give my insect some color on his abdomen. The part that I rubber banded off, I'm going to make his head and kind of think about his mouth being the place, this place, because a lot of insects have what's called like mandibles, which are kind of things that stick out for their mouth so they can grab things to eat and stuff. So I think I'll make that part his head. Okay, so I'm going to color his abdomen. Okay, and then I'm going to color his head. Let's see, color his head a little bit. So your insect is going to look like whatever you want it to look like. It will look different than mine, and that is good because it looks the way you want it to look. Use your colors you want to use. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to do some spots down here. On his abdomen. I don't know if I've ever seen an insect with stripes and spots with all these colors, but I like to make things colorful. So there you go. Okay, and then I'm going to do one more stripe up here. Okay, so here is my decorated insect. Okay, so with that, now you are going to add, insects have 2 antennae and they have 6 legs. So 3 pairs of legs. So I have a pair of green, I have a pair of yellow, and I have a pair of blue. You can make your legs all the same color. It's up to you. You definitely need some help from mom or dad with this part because from doing this quite a few times with different classes, I have found that it's actually hard to get the the pipe cleaners into the sock. And so what I do is I like snip the sock to make a hole, and then I'm able to get the pipe cleaners through the sock. It takes some work, so mom or dad can help. Okay, so there's one, and I can curve it if I want to, kind of that way. Okay. So I'm kind of putting a hole in the sock for the, you know what? I might do it this way. Now I've got a knife. So definitely don't use a knife on your own. Ask mom or dad for help. They'll do this part. So once you pick what colors you want for your legs and your antenna, just let mom or dad help, because I don't want you to hurt yourself. And then okay. So now I have a couple of antenna, and then I'm going to put 3 legs on each side, because you can't put all the legs on the same side, because that would your bug wouldn't be able to walk like that. That would be hard. So you got to put them on, put 3 on each side, so that your bug can walk. Okay, so there's 1. There's 2. So the legs, remember, go into the thorax. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. There's 1. 2. 3. Okay, so I've got my blue ones in front. My green ones in the middle. I can't see my hole. Yeah, okay. And my yellow one back. Can't see my hole. There we go. Okay. Okay. So he kind of looks weird with them kind of like straight out like that. So I usually bend them, so his legs don't just stick straight out. Okay. But yes, definitely have mom or dad do legs for you. Okay. I have to work on mine a little bit. But here are his legs. Okay, so he's got his 3 legs on each side. Here's his antenna, and he needs 2 eyes. And for this, like I said, I'm using those like plastic jewels. We've used those in class before, for decorate different things. But you could use like Google eyes. You could use pom poms. You could use buttons. you could use whatever you have, as long as you put some eyes on your insect so he or she can see. Hold on. Packet glue is probably best to use so they really stick, because I'm not sure if Elmer's glue, if they would stick well enough. So I'm going to use, so there's my glue. Here is my eye. Okay, so here I have my sock insect. Got 3 body parts: head, thorax, abdomen, 6 legs, 2 antennae, and 2 eyes in the mouth. So you can try to make your own sock insect. This one is one I made from before, and I actually made that. He has really short antenna, which may be easier to get into the sock, and much shorter legs. You can do longer legs or shorter legs, but I colored him all over. So here is another sock insect that I made: head, thorax, abdomen. Okay, so if you have stuff available at your house, or maybe sometime over the summer when everybody's going out a little bit more and doing some shopping, then try making a sock insect. All right, I hope you like that. Bye.